Hello everyone, we are group 5 and we are reporting about connective tissue. My group mates are Stephanie Velo, Christine Yuson, Deserie Veloria, Rone Socopon, and April Joy Vicente.
Connective tissue. What is connective tissue? It forms connections, holds together or supports parts, and also transport materials through this connection. Connective tissue is one of the many basic type of animal tissue, along with epithelial tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. All connective tissue consists of three main components: fibers, elastic, collagen, and fibers, ground substance, and cells. Tissue has classified into four classes. The first one is blood, second is bone, third is cartilage, and the last is connective tissue proper. In addition, connective tissue proper consists of loose connective tissue and dense connective tissue. Loose and dense connective tissue are distinguished by the ratio of ground substance of fibrous tissue. Loose connective tissue has much more ground substance and a relative lack of fibrous tissue, while the reverse is true of dense connective tissue.
What is extracellular matrix or matrix? It is found in various connective tissues, forming an essential support structures for cells, controlling communications between cells, segregating tissues, regulating cell processes such as growth, migration, and differentiations. Matrix has three dominant types. First is protein. Protein helps to repair and build your body's tissues. Protein has three types. First, the collagen. Collagen is common protein bundles of touch, flexible, often called as white fibers. Second one is elastic. It is stretchy fibrous, forming thick single fibrous tissues, also called yellow fiber. Next, the second dominant types of matrix, it is the ground substance. Ground substance is an amorphous gel-like substance present in the composition of various connective tissue. Next, it is the last dominant types of matrix. It is the fluid matrix. Fluid matrix is a clear, colorless, viscous fluid that fills the space between the cell and the fiber.
The second dominant of the matrix is protein or protein substance. Protein substance with the some protein but also with non-fibrous protein and other substance. Protein ground substance of extracellular matrix is an amorphous, gelatinous materials. It is transparent, colorless, and fills the space between fibers and cells. Cartilage, fiber and ground substance, rubbery quality. Cartilage is non-vascular type of supporting connective tissue that is found throughout the body. There are three kinds of cartilage. First is the hyaline, moderate collagen. Second, fibrocartilage. It's the large collagen. And third, elastic presence of elastin. And the other kind of ground substance, bone. Bone is the hardest connective tissue. It is provide connection to internal organ and support the body. There are two types of bone, encrusted with mineral crystals giving solid consistency. First is the compact. Compact is large, dense pins of bone matrix. Second is cancellous, thin, narrow pins of hard bone matrix supported by red bone marrow. And the third dominant kinds of matrix, fluid matrix. It is a tissue because it is collection of the similarly specialized cells that nerves particular function. These cells are suspended in the liquid matrix which is called plasma. Hence, the fluid matrix of blood is called plasma. Blood is a unique fluid matrix.
I'm Rona Grace Y. Socopon, and I'm going to report about the suffixes blast, site, and class that indicate the function of specialized cells in connective tissue. First is the blast, building up, producing or building tissue. Example of this is the undifferentiated cell capable of division. For example, is the erythroblast, which is bone marrow cell that will form a red blood cell. Compare the erythrocyte, which is a mature red blood cell. Second is class, meaning destroying or breaking down or break down tissue. Example is the osteoclast, a suffix that indicates a cell that destroys or reabsorb, which is the osteoclast. Third is site, meaning maintaining or maintenance. Example of this is the osteocytes, which means bone cells. Next is the kind of matrix. First is the fibro. It is a connective tissue proper. Chondro means cartilages and osteo means bone. For example is the fibroblast, mean fiber forming cells, and the chondrocytes is the cartilage maintaining cells. Third is the osteoblast, means bone breaking cells. Next is the dense fibrous connective tissue. It is also called dense fibrous tissue. It's a type of connective tissue with fibers as its main matrix elements. The fibers are mainly composed of collagen. Loose connective tissue is found between many organs where it acts both to absorb shock and bind together the tissue. It allows water, salt, and various nutrients to diffuse through the adjacent or embedded cells and tissue. Hyaline cartilage. It is the glass-like and translucent cartilage found on many joint surfaces. It is also most commonly found in the ribs, nose, larynx, and trachea. Hyaline is adipose tissue, is commonly known as body fat. It is found all over the body, and it can be found under the skin or the subcutaneous fat. Fibrocartilage is the tough, very strong tissue found predominantly in the invertebral disc and the insertions of ligaments and tendons. It is similar to other fibrous tissue but contains cartilage, ground substance, and chondrocytes. Lastly is the elastic cartilage. Elastic cartilage, sometimes referred to as yellow fibrocartilage. It is a type of cartilage that provides both strength and elasticity to certain parts of the body, such as the ears. Within the outer ear, it provides the skeletal basis of the pinna, as well as the lateral region of the external auditory meatus.
Good day to everyone. I'm Joy Vicente and I'm going to share with you the parts of connective tissue. For the bone, there are two types, the compact and cancellous bone. Compact bone is a solid and hard part of the bone. Osteon is a solid cylindrical packed units. Haversian system is a multiple layers of hard bone matrix. Lamella is the layers. Osteocyte is within the lacunae and osteoblast is an active cells. For central canal, it is connecting osteocytes and other canals. Cancellous bone has open and lattice-like structure, and it has thin plate and osteocyte and a lacunae. Trabeculae is a structural beams of hard bones with great strength despite open spaces. For spongy bone, it is not soft because of hard trabeculae and spaces filled with red bone marrow producing new blood. Blood is a fluid matrix with variety of cells, and there are three types of blood: the red blood cell that carry oxygen, the white blood cell that fights infection, and the platelets help the blood not to clot. Fibrocartilage is a cartilage type with great deal of collagen and connective tissue that forms the disc between vertebrae. Hyaline cartilage is the most common type of cartilage. Dense fibrous connective tissue is a strong tissue that forms tendons and ligaments and tissue types that forms strong membranes. The adipose tissue is a type of tissue that is actually modified areolar tissue and stores lipids molecules. Compact bone is composed of Haversian system, and cancellous bone is associated with the red bone marrow and forms hard mineral trabeculae.